Hello, everyone. I'm Michael Ridgway. We have a very active weather day on our hands with several warnings in our area, including tornado warnings. So let's get back to our meteorologist, Darius Mack, for the latest info.
Thunderstorm warnings. We still have a tornado watch that is out. I'll send it over to Scott.
Thank you, Darius. It's been a very active morning like Darius was talking about. Currently, we have a handful of severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect in the area, mainly along and east of I-65. But we're also watching another area of storms off to the west. If we can go to our radar, we'll show you those storms as they start to roll in towards the area. And the problem is we're starting to see some sunshine break out between those two areas of storms that you see there, and the sunshine is concerning because it helps destabilize the atmosphere even further. So we have the heat, we have the humidity, and as those storms bump into that, they tend to juice up even more and become even stronger. The storm on the left side of your screen has a history of producing tornadoes. We're going to be watching that as it heads into the area. Michael.
Thank you, Scott. Governor Andy Beshear declares a state of emergency in response to today's severe weather threat. Right now, 400 National Guard are on standby, ready to respond to any emergency. Government offices across the Commonwealth, including here in Warren County, closed early to get everyone home ahead of the threat.
This is going to be a prolonged weather event today, and do not think that you're going to be okay right after the severe thunderstorms move through, because as you'll see, the severe wind gusts come after the thunderstorms, and with the level of the wind will probably be more dangerous than the rain event itself.
Beshear also acknowledged that many school districts across the Commonwealth are closed today to keep students safe at home. And here locally, many folks are already taking shelter against the rain and winds. Right now, News 40's Megan Stamps is at Basil Griffin Park off of Three Springs Road, where several people are already preparing for what's potentially headed our way. Megan, are you there?
Yeah, hi there, friends. Just like Michael said, we're here live at Basil Griffin Park. We're in one of the Parks and Rec storm shelters right here. And as you can see behind me, there's quite a few families who are in here with us trying to go ahead and be proactive, take shelter from these winds, this rain, just in case anything gets worse. I'm actually joined right now by Warren County Parks and Rec's Director, Mr. Chris Cooper. Chris, I understand that you guys have all of your shelters open today. Tell people about that safety.
We do. We have 8 shelters within the county park system, and we've been working with emergency management now for several days, kind of watching the storm system. And so today, when the tornado watch was activated this morning, we had staff in all 8 of the shelters. And then our policy is anytime that there's a tornado watch in Warren County, all 8 of our shelters are open, they're staffed, and we actually have staff members in the shelters with the patrons to make sure that everybody is okay. We have bottled water, and it's a very safe place to be in the event of inclement weather and or a tornado situation.
And I understand that right now we are in a state of an emergency in response to today's severe weather. And here in South Central Kentucky, we are in the middle, like we said, of a tornado watch going on. Now, Chris, go ahead. And I know you already touched on it, but what are some good ideas for people who are out and about, maybe being close to some of these shelters?
Yeah, we've had a lot of people coming in today to the shelters. Some people have already come and left. Some people have come back several times. And so just to know where the shelters are, the shelters are actually, we have 2 here at Basil Griffin Park. We have 2 at Michael Buchanan Park off Nashville Road. We have 2 at Ephraim White Park up off of 526 Louisville Road area. We have 1 at Edgespear Park in Smiths Grove, and then we have 1 at Fillmore Park off of Scottsville Road. So the shelters are designed to withstand tornado force winds. They're basically concrete structures that are safe places to be, and they are open anytime, again, that we have a tornado watch or really severe inclement weather. We work with our local emergency management office through Warren County government, and they are outstanding and great, and we're going to be here until this event is over and until the watch expires.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
We really appreciate what y'all are doing for us. I'm Megan Stamps with News 40, and we're going to go right back to you, Michael.
All right, thank you, Megan. Well, we're now going to throw it over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Burchett for another look at the forecast. What's going on, Scott?
Thank you, Michael. With new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Greene County, Hart County, Barron, Metcalfe counties, and that runs until 12:30 this afternoon. Take a look at the radar right now. This is a live view of the radar, looking at 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts with this storm. It could cause quite a bit of tree damage and mobile homes, roofs, outbuildings. Be on the lookout for those areas because we get these thunderstorms that have some downdrafts, those winds that come straight down and kind of scatter on the ground. And that's whenever you have to look at building damage as possible. So this storm continues to move on off 90 miles an hour to the northeast. Folks, that is a huge forward motion there. So we're looking at 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and then those are being propelled at 90 miles an hour on top of that. That's why we can have straight line winds causing damage in these storms. If you're trying to drive in a storm like this, it's very hazardous. If you're at home and need to go somewhere, I would suggest that you wait it out for right now. We're continuing to watch this line move on through. Darius has more information for us right now. Darius.
Yeah, so we're seeing that severe thunderstorm warning. That does include Barron, Hart, and as well as to Greene and portions of Metcalfe counties until 12:30. And what Scott just mentioned, yeah, it's packing a lot of winds with it. We're seeing estimated winds at around 70 or even greater than 70 miles an hour with this storm that's moving in. Also, to point out, still severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Warren County as well as into Allen and Simpson counties. And this is associated with that same line that is working its way from the north or from southwest towards the north and east. But also want to show you what's happening on the other side of things towards Madisonville, towards Hopkinsville. It's another line of severe warned storms. So we got a little bit of a break, but problem is this break is going to help destabilize the atmosphere and add more fuel for this next line of storms that's expected to move through the area. So, of course, we'll have to keep a close eye on that. But so far, just severe thunderstorm warnings that we have into the area. No active tornado warnings at this time, guys.
Well, many of you are home today with the kids because the school's closed in the area. If you do not have a severe weather plan in place for your family, now is a good time to check this list here. You want to make sure you know where your phone is and that it is fully charged. Be sure to locate any flashlights around the house and check to make sure their batteries are good. And now is the time to make sure that you are signed up for our weather alerts at WNKY and Alert Sense. Lastly, locate the best room in your house to shelter in case of a tornado. This would be the most center room or a closet in the house without windows or the basement or bathroom. And if you do find yourself outside of your home during a weather emergency, here's a look at the storm shelters in Warren County that are now open. Basil Griffin Park, Buchanan Park, Ephraim White Park, Fillmore Park, and Ed Spear Park in Smiths Grove. We do have a full list of all available shelters in our viewing area listed on our website at WNKY.com. Now we're going to Metcalfe County. A missing Metcalfe County man has been found dead after months of searching. 35-year-old Corey Nathan Hart was reported missing on August 11th of 2022. On February 22nd, Kentucky State Police received a call on potential human remains on Betty Sparkman Road. They later confirmed that this was Hart's body. Officials later found evidence against 38-year-old Christopher Leon, arrested him in Lexington, and he is currently facing murder charges and is lodged in the Fayette County Detention Center. And Kentucky State Police are training their largest class of cadets in nearly a decade. Recently, KSP welcomed 103 new cadets to their Frankfort Training Academy, the largest number since 2014. Due to the $15,000 salary increase for KSP sworn personnel and efforts from the recruitment branch, the Kentucky State Police now employ 22% more troopers than compared to late 2021. The cadets will undergo 24 weeks of basic training with more than 1,000 hours of law enforcement education.
It's great to have this large of class. It really will help us grow the ranks, and it really shows that our recruitment efforts have been successful with this amount of cadets being able to go through the academy and hopefully be able to graduate.
For the first time, the cadet class will also receive training on integrated video recording systems and be equipped with body-worn cameras upon graduation. And coming up next, Chief Meteorologist Scott Burchett and Meteorologist Darius Mack are tracking the latest weather across our area. What you need to know next.
Theo's nose was cause for alarm, so Dad brought Puffs Plus lotion to save it from harm. Puffs has 50% more lotion and brings soothing relief. Don't let your nose get burned. A nose in need deserves Puffs indeed. America's #1 lotion tissue.
We're done.
What about these?
Looks right.
Quick! The Quicker Picker-Upper. One sheet of Bounty is all you need. And Bounty is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less. Bounty, the Quicker Picker-Upper.
It's always fun to watch KTSF on View It. Introducing Asian Cinema on View It. Brought to you by KTSF and Wellgo USA. With great movies from China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Korea, and other Asian countries with English subtitles. You can watch them anytime, anywhere in the United States. Download the free View It app, go to the KTSF page, and click on Asian Cinema. It's just that simple, and you can enjoy the movies you love. Download the View It app today.
Power Nation, America's most watched automotive how-to programming, is now available anytime, anywhere, on any device with viewit.com and the View It app. Enjoy popular titles like Engine Power, Truck Tech, and Detroit Muscle in an always-on stream, or pick your favorite show to watch. Join automotive enthusiasts across the nation today at viewit.com or the View It app for your favorite device.
Catch Main Event Friday live streams exclusively on View It Esports. All of your favorite streamers in one place every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Catch the fun anytime, anywhere, on any device.
Hear from legislators on the issues impacting your community, right here on Politics Uncut. Watch raw footage of reporters asking the tough questions straight from the nation's capital, anytime, anywhere, on your favorite device.
Welcome back to News 40 at noon. Chief Meteorologist Scott Burchett here. A new severe thunderstorm warning to tell you about this one for parts of Logan County, Butler County, and Ohio County. It runs until 1 o'clock this afternoon. 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts with this system, and it is moving northeast at 65 miles an hour. Another storm that is racing towards the northeast, already packing dangerously, actually destructive winds, along with hail. Darius is standing by with the radar right now. Darius, what can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right, Scott. We're, of course, tracking active weather across the area. Of course, the threat for destructive, damaging winds is what we're watching for, and the risk for isolated spin-up tornadoes. But new severe thunderstorm warning that does include Logan, Butler, and Ohio counties until 1 o'clock this afternoon. We also have more warnings that just continue to fill. Now, these warnings are in advance of this next line that you're seeing west of Madisonville. By the way, has a history of producing a couple of tornado warnings, by the way, into far northwestern Kentucky this hour. Meanwhile, we are pretty much seeing some of those severe thunderstorm warnings in our area as well. That does include Warren County as well as into Allen County. Another severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Barron County, Hart County, Greene County, and portions of Metcalfe County as well. We're watching for winds in excess of 70 miles an hour. That's what I've been seeing with most of the data that's been coming in. Winds exceeding 70 miles an hour, the destructive force of these winds. And in not only that, winds outside of these storms also just pretty impressive. We're seeing even 60 plus mile an hour wind gusts, not even with some of these storms as well. But we're paying close attention to velocity. That will show us areas where we could see rotation. You're looking at those greens. That means it's moving towards the radar, and the reds means away from the radar. When you have those two together, we're watching for the potential for a tornado or seeing something of a rotation signature. That's something that we're watching out for. Now, not all rotating thunderstorms produce tornadoes, but it's something that we'll have to keep a close eye on. We could see some rotation into portions of Allen County, crossing towards southwestern portions of Barron County with that severe thunderstorm warning there. Here's the broad view, and again, we are looking at two lines. Here's line number 1, and here's line number 2 following behind that. Notice in between that line, well, we have some dry window there, and that dry window probably doesn't mean good news, especially if we see any peaks of sunshine between these two lines, because that could help destabilize the atmosphere and really juice things up for us as far as the severe weather risk goes. But here's the broad view. Warm front continues to lift off towards the north. Very warm air associated with this, by the way. Here's this powerhouse low pressure center. I did mention it's a powerhouse low pressure center. It's stirring in very gusty winds. This is the reason behind the very windy setup we have today, regardless if it rained or not. It's the low pressure system. This is stirring in, of course, along that frontal boundary, that line of showers and storms, more showers and storms pivoting or spiraling around that area of low pressure as well, and of course giving us that isolated spin-up tornado risk. We check out those temperatures across the board, generally into the 60s, right around 70 degrees currently into Russellville and into Elkton. We did make it to at least right around 70 degrees here in Bowling Green before that rain moved in, but we check out those gusts that continue to crank up, by the way. Gusts right now, at least in Bowling Green, 47-mile-an-hour wind, or wind gusts, that is, and we're seeing other gusts exceeding 35, even 40 miles an hour. Here's again a recap of our severe weather risk that we have for today. It's an enhanced risk of severe weather for pretty much a big chunk of the state. Meanwhile, the entire state of Kentucky, I want to point out, under some type of severe weather risk, and really most of the eastern chunk of the country under some type of risk of severe weather today. So really an active weather day. This is action-packed. We're getting most of the action pretty much right now through about 2 or 3 o'clock or so this afternoon when that next line moves through. Now here we have a live shot of what's going on outside. Let's check that out and check out the current conditions there. So we're looking out and you're seeing the skies. And what I am concerned about, Scott, is the risk for some of those clouds to kind of filter in some sunshine. And that could, of course, produce more destabilization into the atmosphere and create some problems for us.
And the sky looks very ominous. This is in Warren County. And, you know, we talked earlier that we were on the air before SOKY at noon talking about the warnings that we had at the time. And we took a look at Logan County at the weather stem camera there, and we saw some thinning out of those clouds. The skies were very bright despite being cloudy. And like Darius said, that's exactly what we don't want to see in a situation like this. You know, we have this line moving through, but then when we have another line off to the west, has a history of severe storms out there, severe thunderstorms, and even a history of producing tornadoes near the Paducah area, we don't want that line of storms to run into sunshine, warm, humid air. That's exactly what it looks like could be setting up as those storms approach south central Kentucky, the WNKY News 40 viewing area, and that's why we're on high alert still after this line is passing through at least part of the viewing area, Darius.
Yeah, important to be on high alert today, and this is our threat index for Friday. I showed you this pretty much yesterday as well as today, and notice I pretty much increased the risk, and of course we're seeing, this is where we're kind of just nowcasting right now. This is again what we're seeing right now is pretty much what we are going to be getting. This is going to be the peak of the severe weather risk that we have. As far as the threat index is concerned, of course, the damaging wind gusts, we're already seeing reports of winds. There was one report of winds over 80 miles an hour with one severe thunderstorm warning. So, Scott, what do you have?
Darius, we have yet another severe thunderstorm warning. This one kind of is issued on the heels of the previous thunderstorm warning. So, but we're seeing some motion in this storm. Southwestern LaRue County, Hart County, parts of Grayson, Hardin County, and north central Barron County. This runs until 1:45 Eastern Time, 12:45 Central Time, 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts with this storm, and it's moving to the northeast at 80 miles an hour. Of course, we're also seeing some small hail with this. We're watching this line move as it moves to the northeast. We're watching it very carefully because it has a history of potentially some damaging thunderstorm winds with that. And, of course, we've been talking about that line off to the west, and we'll be back in just a bit with more weather coverage.
Theo's nose was cause for alarm, so Dad brought Puffs Plus lotion to save it from harm. Puffs has 50% more lotion and brings soothing relief. Don't let your nose get burned. A nose in need deserves Puffs Indeed, America's #1 lotion tissue.
We're done.
What about these?
Looks right.
the quicker picker-upper. One sheet of Bounty is all you need, and Bounty is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Hear from legislators on the issues impacting your community, right here on Politics Uncut. Watch raw footage of reporters asking the tough questions straight from the nation's capital, anytime, anywhere, on your favorite device.
Hi, I'm Liza DeGia, the filmmaker behind Food Curated. Watch my show about innovative chefs and food makers anytime, anywhere on your favorite device.
The award-winning food documentary series Food Curated is now streaming on your favorite device. Follow creator Liza DeGia as she shares inspiring stories of people and the food they love. Catch the top-rated series available anytime, anywhere, right here on View It.
Catch Main Event Friday live streams exclusively on View It Esports. All of your favorite streamers in one place every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Catch the fun anytime, anywhere, on any device.
Again, if you're just tuning in, we have a severe weather threat across our area today. We are officially in a state of emergency in response to today's weather. So we're going to check back in with Megan Stamps, who is at the storm shelter in Basil Griffin Park. Megan?
Yeah, hey there, friends. Like Michael said, once again, we're right here at Basil Griffin Park at their storm shelter. Families have been trickling in and out through this door for the last few hours to seek safety. But honestly, with the sun coming out lately, quite a few have left, but it's really not a bad idea to go ahead and stay near a safe area just in case until this storm watch for South Central Kentucky is completely gone for the day. We actually just spoke earlier in the show to Warren County Parks and Recs Director, Mr. Chris Coomer, who said that all of these safety shelters in the counter, these tornado shelters, these safe rooms, they're going to be open for you just in case for this bad weather. They are pet friendly. They're stocked with waters. They hold up to 200 people, so you have a safe place to go. Be sure to check out our website, WNKY.com. We have a list of all of those shelters and where you can find them here in the county. Please stay safe today, and thank you for watching and trusting us with your coverage. I'm Megan Stamps here at Basil Griffin Park. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you, Megan. And now we're going to throw it over to our meteorologist once more for another look at the radar. Scott, Darius?
Yeah, we continue to track that active weather out there. And what Megan had mentioned is sunshine. That is not good news because we don't need that because that's going to help to stabilize the atmosphere. But the latest on radar right now where we're seeing those severe thunderstorm warnings that are out, that it does include Barron County as well as into Hart counties. But I'm starting to see areas where we're seeing some hail, and also we'll have to watch for some notching with some of these storms for rotation. And we're seeing velocity right now where we're seeing some areas of interest near the Munfordville area where I could see some indication of rotation there, as well as into portions of eastern Barron County and southern portions of Edmonson County. We're going to just have to keep a close eye on the skies, as well as keeping a close eye on where we are seeing areas of rotation, because again, I did mention we are watching for the potential for some spin-up tornadoes as we go throughout the day. The broad view so far here on radar, again, that next line, we're not done yet. There's another line following this. It's just now west of Logan County. By the way, Logan County under a severe thunderstorm warning, as well as into Butler County and Ohio counties. This is all ahead of this line that also has a history of producing just a number of tornado warnings that you're seeing there with those red polygons there. So quite an active setup today that I am tracking as we head, especially for the next few hours, with the very windy and rainy setup. And again, just looking at these warnings that we do have, severe thunderstorm warnings, that does include Hart County as well as the portions of LaRue County as we go throughout the day. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. Here's your 7-day forecast, by the way. Temperatures will trend cooler for Saturday. And Scott, what do you have?
Darius, I just want to pass along, and I'm going to wanted to send this to social media momentarily. Spence Sheldon sent a picture of the SOKY marketplace. Looks like, and I can't confirm when this actually happened, but it looks like maybe there was some damage to that structure. I'd like to find out more of that. If that's the case, it likely was caused by those severe storms as they rolled through. So this is the first line of 2 expected lines moving through the area. I'll be sending that out to the National Weather Service as well. And we will keep you informed here on WNKY News 40 throughout the afternoon. Be sure and keep your television and your social media browsers pointed towards us. In the meantime, be safe.
Theo's nose was cause for alarm, so Dad brought Puffs Plus lotion to save it from harm. Puffs has 50% more lotion and brings soothing relief. Don't let your nose get burned. A nose in need deserves Puffs, indeed. America's #1 lotion tissue.
We're done.
What about these?
Looks right.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. 1 sheet of Bounty is all you need, and Bounty is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Hi, I'm Liza DeGia, the filmmaker behind Food Curated. Watch my show about innovative chefs and food makers anytime, anywhere on your favorite device.
Hear from legislators on the issues impacting your community, right here on Politics Uncut. Watch raw footage of reporters asking the tough questions straight from the nation's capital, anytime, anywhere on your favorite device.
With more than 20 career-focused degree choices and the most affordable tuition rates in Central Kentucky, Midway University puts your degree within reach. Save time, save money, advance your career. Apply today at midway.edu. Nursing and healthcare degrees are in demand more than ever to meet current job growth. Midway offers Central Kentucky's most affordable tuition rates, and our accelerated program puts your degree within reach. Apply at midway.edu.
The award-winning food documentary series Food Curated is now streaming on your favorite device. Follow creator Liza DeGia as she shares inspiring stories of people and the food they love. Catch the top-rated series available anytime, anywhere, right here on View It.
And we are back. Thank you for joining us. Scott, you and Darius have been checking the weather well before the noon show, and we've had a lot of warnings popping up, a lot of shapes on the radar. So what can you tell the people at home?
It's been an active morning so far, leading into an active afternoon. You and I and Darius, the 3 of us were in here, and we saw the lights shaking as it seemed like a wind gust went over the station. WKU in the Mesonet is reporting some pretty impressive wind gusts right around the top of the hour, the 12 o'clock time period. And Darius has been very busy with the radars today. Darius, what's it looking like over there?
Yeah, we're still seeing quite an active radar out there. Still severe thunderstorm warnings that are out for the area. Line of storms off towards the west has a history of producing some tornado warnings as well. But I also want to point out into Barron County and Hart counties where you do have that severe thunderstorm warning, also seeing some hail embedded and even seeing some areas where we could see some rotation with this storm. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that because we are, of course, watching for the potential for spin-up tornadoes today with those storms that move through and those winds that are in excess of 70 miles an hour is where I'm hearing most of the reports coming in from the National Weather Service chat. So, of course, if there's any new warning, we'll be sure to break in and keep you guys updated on the latest. But you'll want to follow News 40 Weather online and on the air, even when the skies are fair. Back to you.
All right, well, thank you all so much for joining us here for SOKY at noon. We'll see you for more coverage at 5, 6, and 10.
With more